I had originally intended this to be part of an Alexander Park racecourse video I'll upload quite soon. The issue there was some horses trained by female trainers, especially a winner Wayne Band, and a connection with Helen Johnson Horton, who trained the horse and had just trained the winner of the 2000 Guineas, but couldn't do it under her license under her own name because the Jockey Club basically banned women trainers. However, even it's International Women's Day, I think I'll just do this video on its own and maybe just link that this exists in when I do the Alexander Park video. The Jockey Club rules didn't say that the person holding a licence had to be male. They just didn't give any woman a licence, despite a number of women doing the training in that period. Lala Curtin in the Daily Mirror, January 26, 1961, writing about women such as Florence Nagle and Norah Wilmot, wrote, "Licences must be granted to women. The Jockey Club cannot persist much longer in maintaining this as an all-male profession. But to satisfy ostrich-like Jockey Club officialdom, licences for stables run by women are held by the head lad. I can see no valid reason why the women who are doing such a good job should not be recognised officially. Miss Wilmot has been training for 30 years. Before that, she was assistant to her father for 20 years. In the Coventry Evening Telegraph on March 23, 1962, Florence Nagle is quoted as attacking the Jockey Club senior steward Lord Craythorne for women not getting licences for reasons, she wrote, such as security in stables, including doping and their ability to control stable lads. Templegate, writing in the Daily Herald on the 25th of August 1962, said, "There are still no signs of the Jockey Club relenting in their refusal to grant training licence to women, even though Mrs. Florence Nagle and Mrs. Norah Wilmot have long since proved themselves capable of turning out their fair share of winners in this officially all-male occupation." On March 22, 1963, Peter Moorhead, writing in the Daily Herald, said that the Queen had lit a fuse under the Jockey Club by sending a horse to one of the ghost female trainers, Norah Wilmot. He wrote that none of the Jockey Club's members were women, and therefore none of the stewards, as Jockey Club membership was needed, and none of the 730 licensed trainers were women, and none of 1,430 professional jockeys in Britain were women. He wrote that women train in the USA, Australia, Norway, Sweden and Belgium, and women ride in France, Belgium and Italy. He added that Norah Wilmot had been training for 32 years and had over 400 winners. He took to Sally Hall and Gay Leader, both of whom rode on the continent but couldn't ride in Britain. The Coventry Evening Telegraph, February 3, 1965, said that Miss Wilmot and Mrs. Nagle had again had their applications to train refused, leading Norah Wilmot to describe the situation as farcical. 5 days later, the Newcastle Evening Chronicle wrote that Florence Nagle was in discussions with the Fawcett Society about launching a legal challenge to that decision on behalf of herself and Norah Wilmot. 2 days after that article, Dame John Vickers, the Conservative MP for Plymouth Devonport, attacked the decision in a speech in the House of Commons and asked the Home Secretary if he would introduce legislation. On March 9, 1965, Newcastle Evening Chronicle reported that the Jockey Club had renewed Florence Nagle's training licence again in the name of her head lad, William Henry Stickley. However, now the Jockey Club had altered who they send the correspondence to. They'd altered it from Florence Nagle to William Stickley. The article said, "Thus a Gerbertian situation has been reached. The employee received his employer's mail because officially the employer is not entitled to it." The article points out that she is listed as a trainer and director of the turf, and under the section saying where she got the licence from, she is written, as you can see in the picture I've included, probably never. The Birmingham Daily Post on May 6, 1965 quotes Florence Nagle saying she's taking legal action against the Jockey Club. The Jockey Club responded in the article saying they had the sole right to issue licences and did so in the best interests of racing. The editorial in the Daily Mirror, July 8, 1965, pointed out how redoubtable the 70-year-old Florence Nagle and 76-year-old Norah Wilmot were. The article quotes Florence Nagle's entry in the Directory of Turf where she attacks the rules and again, which I've included. An article in the same edition of the Mirror says that Florence Nagle is suing the Jockey Club stewards Sir Randall Gay Fielden and Viscount Allendale in the High Court. On February 1, 1966, the Birmingham Daily Post wrote that although Justice John Stevenson had struck out Florence Nagle's case the previous Thursday, the Court of Appeal gave her leave to continue her case. Robin Dunn QC was acting for her. On February 22nd, 1966, a Liverpool Echo quoted two Court of Appeal judges who were very uncomplimentary, to say the least, about the Jockey Club. Lord Justice Dankwitz observed about the practice of awarding licences to a male employee of Florence Nagle. This seems to me to be a simply childish subterfuge without any merit and unworthy of the importance of the matter. Lord Justice Salmon said refusing her a licence was as capricious as refusing a man a licence simply because of the colour of his hair. Lord Denning made similar comments. Alan Gordon in the next day's Daily Mirror wrote about Mrs. Nagle and the Court of Appeal ruling, and she heard three appeal court judges describe the Jockey Club policy as capricious, nonsensical and childish. On January 21st, 1966, the Coventry Evening Telegraph reported Mrs. Nagle as saying the Jockey Club had written to her saying they were willing to let her or any woman be granted a licence. Part of the agreement would be she must recognise the Jockey Club as the ruling body in racing. Florence Nagle pointed out that was rather silly, and she'd always done that, and that was the whole point of suing them. The case next week was expected to take no more than 15 minutes, and the following Wednesday victory was achieved for Florence Nagle. A few days later, Ben Whittaker of Labour MP for Hampstead tabled a motion congratulating Florence Nagle. Norah Wilmot gained the first winner for an officially licensed female trainer when her horse Pat won at Brighton on August 3rd, 1966. Florence Nagle finally retired as a trainer in 1979 in August at the age of 85, 6 months after she successfully got the Kennel Club to allow women to join. And I'll finish this video with a picture of Norah Wilmot's 90th birthday in February 1979, where she was given Trainer of the Month. Amazingly, she was still training and only retired in the autumn of that year.